Okay, hopefully you guys can see what's going on in there. So, I gotta get the steering motor off this thing so I can put new shaft seals in it because it's leaking. Damn. And I'm going to attempt, in order to make the least amount of mess possible, to get the motor and the column down out of the cab so I can get the hoses unhooked while it's sitting inside something to lose as little oil as possible. So, and also on a note, we got since Friday we've had 12 inches of rain. We had the storm come through on Friday, and then we had a storm come through. No, hold on a second. We had a storm come through Friday. We had a storm come through Saturday that nobody actually called for. And then today we had all that crap come through from out of the Gulf, and that dumped, well, it dumped 12 inches in South Bend. We got about 8 here. And surprisingly, it was so dry that nothing actually flooded. So that was nice. Most of it soaked in, and it filled the creeks and the ditches and everything back up. So brought the rivers back up. All sorts of good stuff. So, and crap. I got one hydraulic line gonna give me a problem. And naturally that's the one that I didn't change for a reason, because I couldn't get the damn thing off. And while I have the opportunity here, I want to make an announcement, and it's an announcement that I've been waiting to hear about for 11 months. They have finally released the dates for the 2017 Half Century of Progress show. It's going to be look. Hold on here. It is August 24th, 25th, 26th, and 27th. Of 2017, so for all intents and purposes a year from now. And that's a big freaking deal, because it means the countdown can finally begin. And as of right now, Unfortunately, well, I don't know if I have to wait, but I'm going to wait until after the first of the year. And then I'm going to go ahead and get my days, or get my time off of work right off the bat. That way everybody knows that that weekend is mine. I don't care what anybody at work says. Yeah, son of a bitch. And my plan is to I want to get my wings put on my 10-foot disc to make it 14 foot. And then damn it, I want to take my 1950T in a 14-foot disc. And yes, I know for a 120 horse tractor, 14 feet is way too damn small, but with a 10-foot base, it's really easy to haul. So, son of a... Alright, that was a 2-man hose. I never got it changed before because when I was doing all the work to this thing, Dad was out of town, so I didn't have anybody to help me. So every hose but that one got changed. But anyway, that's alright. No, that damn thing was just on there. That's my plan for ran tool. I don't know what Dad's planning on taking, but I can only assume it involves a grain cart, because it wouldn't be ran tool without grain cart. Hey Dad, I'm gonna need 2 pipe plugs. I had to get that hose out of the filter housing in order to get it out of the steering motor.
There. You just dope that up and put it in there and then it'll be ready for the hose. Where do you need the other plug for?
Okay. I put a port adapter on that thing to make it so it's not pipe anymore, get rid of that goofy ass fitting. Even when those swivel pipe fittings are new, they still leak when there's no pressure on them. Now let's see how easy this thing's gonna spin out of here. Probably not very. Of course, it doesn't help that I got the steering motor sitting on it now. Sling oil all over my camera. Come on, you prick.
You can lift up on the steering column.
Yeah, if you could. Much better. Okay, you set it down. A little further it'll go. Ah, okay. Well, how the hell does that work? Oh, can you move it that way? There it goes. Okay. Now, and now the next big question is, what the hell's holding that thing on there?
Is it just a pinch clamp?
Yeah.
got the clamp and stuff loose now?
Yeah.
Get it back up in there on the pin.
You gotta go up.
Now I guess the clamp's in the way. It won't come with. Say if I could get it up in there and get it locked, maybe I could wiggle the steering column off, but now the clamp's in the way.
How about now? Need to go up just a little bit more. There you go. There ain't nothing else holding it, so it's gotta come off.
Feels like it's the spline.
Well, I do have to say that was a damn dirty trick on Cockshut's part. We figured this thing was just like the tractors. On the tractors, all there is a spline shaft on the orbital motor, and then a splined female on the steering column, and then the steering column bolts to the hydro motor, and wham bam thank you Sam, everything goes together. Well, on this one, not so much. The shaft on the hydro motor smooth and the steering column smooth, and they got this coupler hidden up in there, and there's not actually roll pins in it. It's a loose fit pin with a snap ring on it that traps it in the hole. But the kicker is you can't get the steering tube up far enough to get to the coupler with the steering wheel on. Luckily, the steering wheel isn't actually held on with a bolt, it's just got a roll pin through it. So, because my first thought when I went up and looked, I had to look in the parts books. I don't have a service manual for this thing. I just have an operator's manual, but I looked at the parts book and saw the breakdown. I was like, shit, this ain't gonna be good. So I really didn't want to bust that steering wheel because the combines use a special one. But it turns out there's just a roll pin holding it in, and at first the roll pin was a little stubborn, but I got it to move, and then the steering wheel tapped right off. Luckily this thing's got a cab on it. If it didn't, that probably would have been a different story. But and then the steering motor's up here. Right there. Big old ball of fuzz. It's a TRW, which is actually English. So they actually use a lot of English source parts on this thing, because the I thought that the Perkins in it would be one of them built in Detroit, but the Perkins in it's actually came out of England too, because it's got the I can't remember what the suffix is on it, but it's got the English suffix on the serial number. So both the steering motor and the engine on this thing came from across the pond. But that just about does it for today. I ain't gonna get into tearing that thing apart. I'll probably get it cleaned up real quick, but so it could dry off overnight. But we will get into the rebuild of it tomorrow. So I guess for now, that does it for this one. We'll catch you guys on the next one.